Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. This morning I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on some stuff, and I'm going to go explain the end posts in the vineyard. The bale garden is looking pretty nice. The peppers are taking their sweet time, and I mean, it's a tiny little garden, so can't expect much. This is real interesting. We had that 6-pack of tomatoes. That was all they sold. It was pretty late in the year, so we put 4 in the ground because we didn't have room for the other ones. 2 in the bales and 4 in the ground, and they're consistently remaining twice as big, the ones in the ground. This is a pretty damn fertile soil. I used a bunch of horse manure in here when I first started this garden. So at the end of the year, I think I'm going to dump these, turn these bales under in here, put some more manure in here, and I'll probably plant in the ground next year. Maybe go back and forth between bales and normal in-ground gardening. This is one of the things I really wanted to show you, though. This is skunk damage. All these little holes are where skunks use their nasty little claws and peeled back the turf to get at grubs. And sometimes they'll hit a mother lode and peel back a big area like that. The grass is all dead there. I gotta go through here. I got bags of topsoil. Gotta fill each one with a little bit of topsoil, and I just mix a little bit of seed in with the soil. It's midsummer, so it may or may not grow. Eventually it will grow, though. The seed might remain dormant if it's too warm. But that really sucks. But as bad as this is, it is nowhere near as bad as one of the neighbors up there. As you come in to this area, just got totally, his entire lawn is totally blown away. Okay, and lastly, before we get to the vineyard, yeah, look at this stuff. And then we have regular mold damage down here, but yeah, really torn up lawn this year. Wanted to show you the little bluestem. It was a lot of work getting this all growing last year. You got to kill back everything, and it's still killed back, and I hand weed this when I walk by here and there. My new grass out in the front is, I got side oats, grama, and bottlebrush grass as the next layer moving forward. And I'm trying to get prairie drop seed, a layer of that growing along that, the next step right there. And then I'm hoping to get June grass growing along the front, among others. It's going to be all kinds of stuff mixed together. I've planted a couple different kinds of wild rye in here and other stuff as well. So it's coming along real good. I can't really tell at the edge here. Most of this is little bluestem, but I think this big tall stuff might be something else. Well, I'm sure it is. It's got to be. The stuff that's right about this height, you know, what that's consistent looking, I believe that's all the little bluestem, and some of this stuff is stuff that was just growing here. So I'm going to find out what it is as soon as it goes to seed, and if it's nasty stuff like Johnson grass, I doubt that. Oh no, it isn't. But if it's not native, I'm going to yank it out. Okay, let's go look at the age posts. Yeah, the women are still on vacation, so I'm still babysitting for Miss Maisie. Not that she wouldn't come with me anyways, but right now she's with me pretty much all the time. The vines are looking really nice. No obvious signs of disease or anything, at least from here. So that last spray worked pretty well. But let's see if I can find one of these that's fairly open. This front one. I have these H-post end posts because this is a very high wind area, and well, the rows aren't that long. They're 125 feet long or so, but these are pretty beefy posts. But I'm hoping they should be lower maintenance and not give me a bunch of problems, like, you know, the ones that are just a single post at an angle, like they use at professional vineyards. Not that this isn't professional, but the big vineyards. Those, I just wouldn't trust them here. I think they would be tipped over and laying on the ground pretty quick with all the wind here. But these posts are, I believe they're 6-inch. They're an odd size. I had to order them 6 inch by 10 foot. I put them close to 4 feet. I went as far as I could before I hit rock. And, you know, the deeper they are, the more stable it's going to be. And then I cut them off at, what was it, 6 feet, 6 inches. And then I'll actually go into how I figured out all of this stuff, where the notches go. You can see that instead of being strapped around the side or just wrapped around like a lot of people do, I went right through, and I have these gripple wire catches. So all I have to do is pull on that. They're one-way wire catches. You might have seen the videos, the earlier videos. I used the goldenrod to pull that because the gripple tool wasn't strong enough. Same up here. I try to keep these so I don't get poked in the eye, but they keep popping out. Same thing up here. I just took a chisel. It's at a slight angle to match the wire. Right now the wire is full of grapes, so it's resting down here, but it did go right through the center of here. And a little bit later, when I get to that last one down there, I have a pair to finish on the last row down there. When I get to that, I'm going to go over exactly how to do everything. But this catch wire, this one's loose. I'm going to have to tighten this up a bit. Not that the catch wire is not really super important. It's important that it be there, but it doesn't hold any weight. The vines are just draped around the back side of it. This is a high wire or top wire cordon system. So it's 6 feet high because this is a cold weather variety, and we want to keep this airflow going underneath here so that, you know, early in the year and late in the year, if you get cold weather at night, the air can flow underneath there, and hopefully you don't get frost damage. And I'll wrap this up pretty quick. That is a gripple as well on these. I had to order these special. Where are they? Can't really see one. Here you go. These big galvanized eye bolts. Got these online, and I think it was, oh, if I remember, I'll put that on screen where I got those from. But these, they have these at Menards, but I can never find more than 1 or 2 of them in their stock, so I just order them online. And again, this is a gripple. The wire goes through it and then back through, and when you tension it, I did tension this with the tensioner, the gripple tensioner. When you tension it, it yanks it real nice and tight and holds it there. You can also use these for a splice if the wire... Oh, here's another nest. Oh, it's got eggs in it. They made a second nest. That's likely the same birds that were down there earlier. Came in and made a second nest. It's got eggs in it. Okay, but this is number 10 galvanized wire. This comes in shorter, I don't know what they are, maybe 100-foot spools. And I think this number 12 came in, what is it? I think it was 1,000-foot, because I had plenty for the entire vineyard, which is, well, I have 500 feet plus in here now. Oh no, I have more than that. Yeah, I'd have to look, but you get this at a Vineyard Supply Company, and it is not regular fence wire. Do not use regular fence wire. This is heavily galvanized, and it's heavy wire. I would not use just regular electric fence wire. It's nowhere near as good as this. And one more detail. This is just held in with a single, I think it's a timber lock screw. And that's about it. I will show the entire process when I finish this up. This project became way less important. I was rushing to get this done, and then I got just massive disease in the vineyard last year because I couldn't get the first spray in. The early sprays are super important. If you don't get them in, you're going to end up battling disease all year. And it got so bad that it killed most of my vines here. Some are coming back like that, but there's no rush. They're not going to even make it up to the top of the pins, let alone need to go on a wire. So I will get to this, but it's going to be a little bit later. I'm sure it's going to be in the fall. But when I do get to it, I'll show you, everything I do. That's where the second post goes, right here. It's all laid out. And then I'll show you how I set it up to get the posts in line, because these middle posts, you have to be positioned dead on to get the wire going right through them. So that'll wrap it up. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. But remember, I'll be going over everything when I get to this in the fall. So make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon so you receive notice when I do post the videos on that. That dog's gonna get kicked. Izzy, get over here. Horses don't like dogs sneaking up on their back. I know, honey. Yeah, I'm excited too. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.